Okay. Eve, up to you.
Great, excellent. And then if you can then upload the slides, Sami,
Yes,
would be great.
sure. Give me 1 second. Sorry, give me one second.
Or otherwise you can make me presenter, huh? So it's as you wish.
No,
It's
I'm
fine.
doing it just now. I just had a slight technical glitch. There you go. Hopefully you can all see it. And I'll maximize it.
Great. And then also, so from my end and in the name of the NoBoCap community and partners, a big welcome for this, let's say, last webinar of this year. And as yeah, we're just ending this year, we just wanted to still leverage the opportunity to inform the community, so the members as well as the partners of the latest development, because there are some developments ongoing also from the European Commission side. So we did want to ensure that everybody has the latest information, and also to indicate of what is within the NoBoCap project itself, the latest developments and the preparations that we're doing actually for the coming year, in order to almost have like a kickstart for the next year. If we go on the next slide, indeed, as Tammy already indicated, with regards to the rules, if people have an issue with regards to the recording and so please turn off the camera. But in generally, we like to, of course, have this as a quite good interactive mode. So we prefer to have cameras on as much as possible, so that we don't have to talk to black screens. It's always great to see people. And so from there, and please turn on the camera at any convenient moment. If we look at how we are with the next slide on the development of the community. So if we can take the next slide. Yeah, so before that, just quickly the agenda. So we wanted to welcome also the new members and partners. The webinar today is focused really on those that are directly within the community. So on the innovation hubs, the clusters, as well as the knowledge and know-how partners, and of course the NoBoCap partners themselves. We will also have in the future, of course, webinars which are then open for also the innovators. And so we will more precisely indicate which those are, and then we will also from the agenda have it even more targeted, so they will optimally benefit from that as well. So what we seek to do is to bring in the context of the voice of what the latest developments. So we'll give the voice towards also the European Commission on their initiatives. But then also if from your end, from the innovation hubs or from partners, there are specific initiatives, please let us know, and please let's share those. We will indicate some development that we're having in order to build out a single point of contact towards the NoBoCap services and education. So that's also work in progress. We'll provide an update. Also, what we're planning in follow-up of the quite successful summit that we had. So we want that the community continues to be able to benefit from it, to have access towards the recordings, have access towards the information. So this is something that we're building out, so that that's accessible in the beginning of next year. And then some interesting developments also. There is further projects from the EU for Health side, which are actually quite nice fitly, and we want to get ready for 2025. So going then in the next slide with regards to the community itself. So what we're seeking, of course, is to build out this community of hubs and partners, focusing on unlocking the EU regulation, focusing primarily on the medical device regulation, in vitro regulation for innovation. And so if we go on the next slide, so we have a quite nice and growing community at this moment. So from the members and the clusters, so we have a couple of new ones, and at this moment I would like to give the floor for those that for whom it is actually the first time that they join the webinar from the community, and just to give the opportunity to give a very quick introduction from your end. I noticed that Laura Iglesias from Catalonia Health is there. So Laura, if you want to say a couple of words with regards to the cluster, would be great. And then also then others. So please raise your hand, and then please speak up, as this is the first time that you're joining, so that everybody starts to know your cluster as well. So if I can turn to Laura, if she can say a couple of words, would be great.
Sure. Thank you very much, Yves, and all the community for also letting us join this amazing NoBoCap community. For us, it's a great pleasure to be here. We are a health cluster from the region of Catalonia with over 240 members, and we capture as a cluster the full value chain of the health sector. And we are also like very interested in also helping all the entrepreneurship and startups with the notified bodies and European institution and governance with the same aim that you have here. So we have, even though we are new, I think that it will be a great opportunity for us. We hope that we can also bring some of the knowledge that we have in our territory, but I think it will be great for us to be here, and I'm sure that we have a lot to learn about you.
Thanks for that. Anybody else? Another cluster that's just joined? I don't know if Frederick, yeah. So please go ahead.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to join you guys today. It's nice to meet all of you. I represent the pure clinical and MDR regulated companies. We are based in Warsaw in Poland. And it's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm looking forward to all the future projects. We're working closely with the Polish market, but we also have connections in the European market, or with a pure global company that operates in Asia and the Pacific. And I'm looking forward to the future cooperation. Really nice to meet you all.
Great, excellent. And you're joining as a NoHo partner, I think, correct?
I think
Yeah,
so, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. You will be listed normally on the next slide as well.
Yeah.
So we have the both sides. So anybody else that joined for the first time?
Hi, my name is Katrin Tiefner. I joined for the first time. I got the information about the meeting from Human Technology Stereo Cluster from Austria. I'm not working for that. I'm from Your Name Research, and we have our medical product on the market. And I got the email from Human Technology Stereo about the meeting today, and I just want to join to meet you and have a look what's going on in your project and to meet the community.
Great, excellent. Well, welcome. Any further people that joined for the first time? Just speak up, because I'm not sure if I can see everybody.
Hi, this is Eva Salmatani from Greece. We represent the Hellenic Digital Health Cluster, and I don't know if it's the first time. Actually, Stamatiki, please help with that. It's the first time that we are in the meeting, so I just returned from my maternity leave, and I'm in this period of, finding things and meeting new things that happen at the cluster. So we are very glad about this collaboration and our participation at NoBoCap. We represent a cluster from Greece that works on digital health. And we have 36 members right now that work at the field of digital health. And we are very happy about this collaboration, and we are looking forward for the new things that will come. Thank you.
Great, excellent. Well, welcome back, and all the best. Will be some exciting times that you have ahead of you. Any further people that are just joined for the first time?
When it comes to the first time, it's also first time for me. Hi, everyone. I'm Carolina, and I have been working for Biomapas. And Biomapas is a service provider based in Lithuania. And we are supporting our clients with all services related to regulatory compliance and pharmacovigilance. We also provide some clinical solutions for medicinal products and medical devices. So I'm glad to join the community as well.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Carolina.
Thank you.
And I think the other names sound more familiar. So I think that indeed we might have covered everybody. If not, don't be shy and speak up. It's a good opportunity to get to know each other, even if it is virtual. So let's then go to the next slide, where we then also have listed indeed the knowledge and the know-how partners. So Biomapas is listed here, and then Frederick, I think yours should be there as well. If not, please let us know so that we can have it up to date. And so with regards to the know-how partners, we always go through a screening process to ensure that there is a quite high quality of those know-how partners available. So for the innovation hubs, and so that they can be really trusted partners to reach out to them if there are specific questions that you're having, or within your organization, people that like to seek some support. I would then like to take to the next point, which is originally we had planned to go into an update from the Commission side. So I don't know if Katerina, in the meantime, was able to join.
Yes, I joined. Hi.
Okay, great. So just in time. So I did not want to rush this. So if you go on the next slide, so indeed what we would seek to do is to have an update from the Commission side on related initiatives. So certainly to have an understanding of which are initiatives and in which way from the innovation community we would have opportunities to provide some input, as there is a lot ongoing with regards to further development and further evolving the regulation to make it even better fit for purpose for also the innovation. So I'd like to turn over to you, Katerina. Perhaps if you can give a quick introduction of yourself, the role, and then it's fully up to you.
Yes, perfect. And I just checked. I think I'm not able to share my slides, but I can also quickly send you the.
No, I will make you a host, Katerina.
Just okay. Good, because
give me 1 second.
But I can, yes. So my name is Katharina Wunderlich. Good morning to everybody. I'm actually a seconded national expert with the medical devices unit at the European Commission in the Director General of Health. And I'm happy to provide you a brief overview focusing on aspects that support innovation. And I will try to share my screen now. So
yeah, that seems to work.
Okay, you can. So now I see a bit the participants, but yeah. So yeah, maybe if you have questions, we can certainly take those maybe then at the end, or you interrupt me. That's also fine. So basically, and Eve also asked me to maybe address the following issues. So the targeted evaluation and the call for evidence, the public consultation that were just published last week. Today, we will the second survey to manufacturers, authorized representatives, importers, and distributors will actually be launched within the GUG study. I will.
And Katarina, sorry to interrupt you. If you perhaps can go in the presentation mode, that would be even.
I thought I am in the presentation mode. Hold on.
If you go with the.
Because I went on the button here on the bottom. Is it now showing? No?
If you have two screens, it seems you didn't select the full screen.
Right screen?
Yeah, maybe you have two displays, and this is the reason. You need to...
But it works, it works in itself.
Go to the slideshow. Go to the slideshow, where it's slideshow, in the tab menu.
In the tab menu?
View. Sorry, view.
Yeah.
And
No, I think it's because Katharina is sharing the screen for the PowerPoint presentation. So when it opens a new one, it doesn't share it.
Do you see?
Try reading view. Try reading view. Try to click on reading view.
Perfect.
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Luisa.
Also learning. You're great. Okay. Sorry about that. So I will click on the next slide. Does that work? There we go. So yeah, the GUG study I mentioned, I will touch upon that very briefly and then also address the interplay and actions that we're taking to align with the AI Act, the Artificial Intelligence Act. And then there has been a call for tenders on a horizon scanning system for medical devices and in vitro diagnostic medical devices. And I will also very briefly touch on the innovation pathways that the Commission will work on. So on the first topic, the targeted evaluation, maybe just a brief overview. So you are aware, I mean, this is a standard exercise in legislation. So we have obviously preparation of a legislative regulation or directive, its adoption, the implementation, and then after a certain time, the evaluation. And the Commission has started evaluating the medical devices and in vitro diagnostic medical devices regulations this year. And there are certain criteria within the regulatory toolbox that we have to evaluate the texts on. So it's the effectiveness, the efficiency, the relevance to current and emerging needs, the coherence, and EU added value. So these are the same for all evaluations of legislative frameworks. And so we, you see here that the timeline, we are now actually, we did a data mapping, what kind of data is available. We consulted the relevant stakeholders to see what data is available. And now we have a call for evidence and a public consultation that has been launched just last Thursday. And so this is also a standard activity within the evaluation. And you see here So it's only one part, obviously, of the consultation strategy. I will, and the link will be shared on the next slide. So the idea is for the call for evidence and the public consultation that you can also, as stakeholders, upload documents that you would like to share with the Commission. The call for evidence is actually a free text field, so you can share your feedback on MDR and IVDR. And the public consultation is more structured, survey also to the different stakeholders. And then we also have added questions in the study on the monitoring of the availability of medical devices and IVDs that the Austrian Public Health Institute is undertaking for the Commission. And there are regular surveys to notified bodies, and now also to manufacturers and authorized representatives. There was one last year, and now the second survey will be launched today. And there's also a survey planned for competent authorities and possibly also to patients. And so with all this data that we collect, we will evaluate the regulations according to those 5 criteria that I listed earlier. And depending on whether if there are data gaps identified, there will still be dedicated workshops on various topics. So the topics aren't set yet, but you see here, and so beginning of to mid next year, there will probably still be workshops organized on specific topics to collect more data to be able to evaluate the regulations. And then a conference is also being planned at the end. This is more to take stock and to inform about possible next steps. And then, as number 5 here, you have ongoing work in the medical devices coordination group. So, and of course, we will also use other data that has been shared with the Commission studies that were commissioned by stakeholders to also take that into account of the evaluation. And so the call for evidence was just published on the Have Your Say portal, and you see the link here below. So I encourage all of you and your members to participate. And for the call for evidence, as I said, the feedback is an open text field, and I think it's important that you can upload document. So please don't send it to the Commission via email, but use this function. And then for the public consultation, as I said, this is actually a more general consultation that is addressed to the public, but there are also tailored questions for specific stakeholder groups. And you can sort of identify yourself to which stakeholder group you belong, and then you will get certain questions that you can answer. And the deadline here is end of March, but we're happy if you can promote this, these 2 exercises with your members. And I think that's it for the targeted evaluation. I don't know if there are questions, but I will maybe continue. Otherwise, please interrupt me. And related to this, as I mentioned, we have a study on the monitoring of the availability of devices that the Austrian Public Health Institute is carrying out for the European Commission. And actually today, they will launch a second survey to manufacturers, authorized representatives, and importers and distributors. And it's also general questions you see here to collect information on the transition of devices to the MDR and IVDR, and questions on costs and different data that will be helpful. And they also included questions specifically for the targeted evaluation. So if you can also share this survey, with your members, that would be very appreciated. And the deadline here is end of February. So, yeah. And then on the next topic, that was the interplay between medical devices and MDR, IVDR, and the Artificial Intelligence Act. So there has been actually a first meeting of the New and Emerging Technologies subgroup of the MDCG, of the Medical Devices Coordination Group, and the AI subboard on the interplay between AI Act and MDR, IVDR, beginning of December. And they adopted terms of reference. So member states nominated experts for AI, for this AI board subgroup. And of course, you have the New and Emerging Technologies working group, which are experts especially for MDR, IVDR, and new technologies. And there are also stakeholders involved. And we had a workshop on the question and answer document that the Commission will try to publish by mid next year at the latest, on all relevant questions, or not all, but we will have a first go at relevant questions that the industry or that all stakeholders are facing regarding the requirements of the AI Act and how it relates to the medical devices regulations. So we will try to have that ready quite quickly. And I mean, it will not be complete, but to sort of help guide the implementation, I think that's very, very relevant. And then there has also been the establishment of, from the Notified Body Oversight Working Group, a task force that will especially look at the designation of notified bodies for AI devices, and how we, and the idea is to have a very streamlined approach to use the notified bodies that are already designated now, and to have an extension to the existing codes, the software codes, and to include the AI in that. And we will look at other requirements that the AI Act also sets for notified bodies, and try to get some clarity to the designating authorities and, of course, to manufacturers. Also quickly, there will be a first meeting in January. And and obviously, since the AI Act is horizontal legislation that does not only affect medical devices, but many other areas as well, we are closely working with DG Connect to align on all the work that we're doing. And then I can just briefly mention the call for tenders on the horizon scanning system for medical devices and in vitro diagnostic devices. I think this came out of the New and Emerging Technologies subgroup as well. And the idea is also within the regulations to have more focus on innovative breakthrough devices. And this system that should be developed should basically provide input then for authorities, for notified bodies on what is up and coming. And I cannot say a lot more about this. The deadline for applications is 16th of January. And for fairness reasons, basically all questions that come, so I cannot answer any questions on this, have to go through this funding and tenders portal. They will be all published. So if you have questions, please send them via this link. And then they will be answered also in a certain time frame. And then, and maybe finally, this relates maybe a bit, also from the European Parliament, there has been a resolution in October on the urgent need to revise the medical devices regulations. and also the Health Ministers Council, the EBSCO Council. The member states raised an AOB on necessary reforms in the medical devices and in vitro diagnostic regulations, and both included also calls to support innovation, and of course the fear that innovative devices are leaving the EU market or the union market and going elsewhere first. So I think this call is where these calls are greatly appreciated, and the Medical Device Coordination Group already in May started also to work on this issue or to discuss this issue. And actually just on Wednesday, we had a MDCG meeting, and stakeholders were also asked to provide input on possible measures to support placing on the market of innovative devices. This is within the current legislative framework. So basically it means to use regulatory or non-regulatory measures, including existing empowerments in the regulations, or also to have guidance documents maybe developed, or to have targeted pilots like the EMA expert panel advice that we have also for orphan devices, so for small patient group devices. So these were, this was a session that just took place. I think the presentations from the stakeholders will also be published on the RegEx portal of the Commission, so they will be publicly available. And I think I can already say that the input that we have received and the discussions that took place, they will be followed up by a task force that is going to be set up within the Medical Device Coordination Group, and that will also address this issue of supporting innovation within the current legislative framework. Yes, I think that's it for now. If you have questions, I'm happy to take them. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not sure.
I think it's all clear.
Sorry, I mean, I was indeed talking away, but to a mute system, it's not helping. So first of all, I would like to thank you for the great overview, and also indeed to go back into the full screen so we can see each other. And it's quite obvious that there's a lot of activities ongoing, and I think it will be for our community actually an excellent opportunity to provide input through the different channels. So we will certainly advocate that also towards the members, through the partners, and do the necessary follow-ups there as well. And I see that Miguel has a question, so go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to actually to go on the first slides. We're asking for the consultation and inputs. What kind of inputs make sense to contribute? Just an example, we did recently a study in a master thesis where we looked to the compliance of software as medical device in Portugal. We managed to track the softwares being used, how many of them were actually compliant with the MDR, and have probably one of the first pictures of the non-compliance of a sector. So more than Portugal being an example of a bit the reality of the non-compliance, because we have a lot of information probably about what is registered, but we don't have a lot of information without the DAMED working right about how can we really understand what are the products that are fully compliant, those that are not fully compliant. And this is an academic study that we did. Is this kind of inputs that you're looking on the consultation part, and does it make sense to contribute directly to you to this? So the Content Authority of Portugal is aware of this study, but in this sense, I think it's more this kind of studies that we, at least for us as knowledge partners, we try to map and bring a bit of the field knowledge that we some of the times we can gather, and with the hope that this can contribute to a bit of understanding of the application of the MDR.
No, I think exactly that sounds very interesting, and I think the challenges that that are faced transitioning to the new regulations, everything, you know, especially maybe for your group, it's the small and medium sized companies that I think the the requests are not limited, so we are happy to have everything, and we will try to, you know, analyze and see, like I said, on these criteria that are like predefined. So yeah, is it effective? Is it efficient? Also in terms of cost effectiveness. You know, if you have information on that, is it coherent? Is there an EU added value? Yeah, I guess all that information. So I think what you were saying, I think we would be happy, and you can probably upload this document maybe on the call for evidence.
Yeah.
And maybe write some feedback in the text field. But yeah,
we are publishing a paper on that. So in that sense, I think the paper will probably summarize quite well the learnings or the feedback, because I think most of the challenge with MDR tends to be on the application and enforcement due to the lack of resources. So the kind of thing that is always good to go back to the Commission and the Parliament. It's like, probably we need more money to implement MDR. It's not just a matter of lack of good intentions of the players.
Yeah, very good.
And also from our end, we will be looking into more detail then of, evaluation channel or public consultation channel or over the GOG, specifically the asks, just to help and guide a little bit, which is the appropriate channel to use and in which way to best formulate it, so that it's so to a certain degree somewhat a structured input that can be provided. So we'll be looking into that one, and then help the members and the partners also to see how can it be most efficiently this input being provided then.
Yeah, maybe I can add, indeed. I mean, and we are aware it's a lot of consultations in parallel, and I mean, we've tried to basically streamline. That's why we also added questions to the GUC survey, so to not have another survey. But like I said, the call for evidence and the public consultation, these are also required activities within the evaluation of the regulations. So yeah, they and I mean, we tried to, or we have avoided duplication. So I mean, yeah, the questions on the manufacturer survey are much more targeted to this stakeholder group.
Yeah, no, excellent. Any further questions? I thought I saw Liz before. I don't know if you had a hand or not.
I did, but it was a question I think it's very hard to answer and anticipate regarding, I think there's general understanding that likely there'll need to be revision. Of course, that takes time at the European level. And I know from our member point of view, they look to their strategy for go-to-market, and we'll probably be asking when will things be clarified with MDR, but I think you'd need a crystal ball to answer that. So that's why I took my hand down.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I think it might be worthwhile indeed, because I suppose there are some short-term implementation actions that might be taken, and some might be more longer-term. So I think that might be good to have some degree of time expectation. Is that indeed the planning, to have some short-term true implementing acts which can be done now already, and then on the longer term, I mean that takes, of course, the time it takes.
Exactly. I think what I can say, and indeed I think we, like the Commission, very much appreciates also the sort of focus that also the Council, the Parliament have put on this topic, and I mean, even in the mission letter, this is, or within the new commission, so we have a new commissioner also from the 1st of December, is a high priority for us. But I think indeed, so the first step is to have to use the empowerments that are in the current regulations. For example, within Annex 7, which are the requirements for notified bodies to work on an implementing act to streamline the certification procedure, to make it more predictable for manufacturers. Another example is also the electronic instructions for use. So for devices that are used by healthcare professionals, I think the idea is also to include this possibility of the electronic instructions for use for those devices, to extend the implementing act that we have already in place. And I mean, there are other possibilities or other topics that we will work on. The innovation is also one. And in the long term, so I think for us or for the Commission, it's very important to have evidence-based changes if we make changes to the regulations. So the evaluation, the targeted evaluation that we have sort of anticipated now, that has been pulled up. I mean, this was originally planned for 2027. The outcomes of that evaluation will then, lead to a possible further revision of the legislative framework. But this is still, we have to first analyze the data and then take decisions.
In the context of the designation notified bodies towards software AI, given that this is increasingly a topic which is coming to the forefront, and also given that within NoBoCap we have our short courses foreseen specifically in this field of AI, is there any timelines that are taken into consideration of how this process would go with regards to designation for notified bodies to be able to, I suppose, expand their scope going from software more towards AI?
I think this is definitely a high priority for us. So I think we we have a meeting in January, and like I said, since we plan also not to have a new process in place, we will try to use the existing designation process and avoid a lot of bureaucracy in the designation of those notified bodies that will assess AI devices. So I think probably also by mid next year, I think by mid 2025, the member states also have to have a notifying authority for AI designated. So there are obviously timelines, that we have to respect. But this should be like a quick, hopefully earlier than next summer, that we have something in place.
Great, excellent. And it fits quite nicely as indicator, because that's also the short course focus that we're having, where we show that later we have some initial ones being planned there as well. So that all fits quite nicely together of how the process is then being picked up. Any further questions that people are having for Katarina? If not, then again, thank you very, very much for the update. It's really very timely. If it was like this week and actually today that things are being launched, so we can start promoting this as well, and make sure that from the innovation side there is a good input being provided also, so that specific focus can be given on the specific needs that there are from the innovation community. So thanks for that.
I see that but this is also related again to the AI. So the codes for AI, basically the idea is to use the existing software code I think it's different ones for MDR and IVDR, and to basically update under conditions that this notified body will also be covered, or will also cover the AI Act, or will also be designated under the AI Act. We still have to figure out the practical, but it shouldn't be basically a new, we will use the existing codes, and it will be like a change within the code, but that shouldn't be complicated to assess. But and it will be sort of visible in Nando, in the database of notified bodies. But yeah, as I said, I think we are still a bit at the beginning, but I hope we have clarity on this early 2025, and then have a process and something to share with everybody. And obviously, also at the moment we have AI medical devices, so they are already being assessed. It's not like this is a new thing. So yeah, we will, try to keep this going. But yeah, that was just because I saw that in the chat, and thanks also to you for the invitation. I will still listen, maybe very briefly, but I have to probably leave before the end of your meeting. So
perfectly fine. Again, thanks, and already as you will be escaping at a certain point at time, best wishes for the Christmas and the New Year. Also to you.
Likewise, thank you.
And then we'll certainly connect up in the beginning of the year, and find at the regular webinar some good points in time to give the update. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
So if we then go back on the slides for the additional points, and I think on the next point, I will ask Luminita to provide an update. And this is in the context of for the community, and then for the members of the innovation hubs. What we seek to do is to have a further way to facilitate access to all the NoBoCap tools, services, initiatives, and to indeed have then, let's say, a single point of contact to have, which would allow you then the full accessibility there. And so, Sami, if you could upload the slides again, or if it would be great, and then I'll like to turn over to Luminita to provide us an update of what is being planned.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Stami, will you share the screen, or do you want me to present my slides by sharing?
It's up to you. I can share if you want.
You can share. Great.
Can you see it now?
Okay, move a little bit further to the 10th slide.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Just here. Sorry. Now can you see it?
This is, yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luminita from Altfactor. For the people who don't know me yet, we are the software developers who already developed the NoBoCap platform. We already presented the platform at the summit in Brussels in September. Right now, we are working on developing something more than that. At Eve's proposal, we tried to create a NoBoCap environment where all the tools which are available in the project could be brought together within an innovative platform with single sign-on, so that everyone could have a more easy access to all the tools we prepared. The available blocks we intend to put in this environment would be those you can see on the screen. I just took one mock-up from my graphic designers to show you how this would look. It's a sketch at this moment, so it's not really implemented. It's not final. We hope at the end of January we will have this environment available to be presented to the partners, and in February to also present it to the meeting with DigiSante. So the 6 blocks would be the first one, a presentation of the project by a video. We prepared such a video and showed it to you at the summit. We are going to update it to include all the updates available in the platform, but this will be a first tool. At Eve's suggestion, we decided to keep this as a resource. Then the second one would be the e-guide, the NoBoCap e-guided MDR, IVDR learning and B codes, actually a e-tool helping all the people interested to understand the regulations, to educate, to get information, even if they are not market operators directly interested to connect with notified bodies. The third block would be NoBoCap Matchmaking Innovation Notified Body, which is our platform developed within the project. And then we'll have the job board, also a tool for the notified bodies where they can post their jobs, their positions available when they are looking for experts. We already developed that. And then maybe later we will have available some registration forms for postgraduate courses and short courses. Those two blocks we intend to also include in this environment. What we want to do is to have an easy sign-in using only basic information such as name, email, password, country, gender, and user type to get general access to the blocks of the NoBoCap environment as a level 1 access so that everyone could easily access all the tools. We thought of creating 14 user types with specific access to the various blocks based on their interest. And there comes the level 2 access. If you can move to the next slide, Sami, I can show you which are the user categories. They have different interests, so they will have, after the level 1 access, they will have different permissions to access various tools available. So these are some user categories we thought of. You can move further if you want, please. So this is the second part where if you enter each of those 6 blocks, you will have what it is about. We thought this could be a short video presenting everything we want to offer by the tool, and then specific access to the tool according to interest of type of user. So everybody could access in this way the e-tool. This is our main purpose for creating this environment. So every type of user will have direct access, a level 1 access to the NoBoCap e-guided MDR IVDR learning and codes block. And then if you are interested to join the job board or the matchmaking platform, you will be asked to input some additional information. If you are really interested, you are going to be able to do that. This is our plan. We are working on this. We are sure we are going to have some good products to show on February at the next meeting with DigiSante. If Eva, we can't hear you. If you have any questions or observations to make.
Yeah, so in Teams, it always warns me indeed to pay attention. So again, any open for any questions that people might have on this let's say NoBoCap environment creation and then the mechanism to have really a single access point for all the different tools, and I think in that way to have an opportunity to get better awareness of it. Might also start looking, of course, how to potentially connect up towards the NoHo partners. Also, potentially we could have a door there as well that gives people, if they like expertise, to make that connection. So we can further evolve this, but I think this is the starting point that we're having. And so, any questions, or is it quite clear, quite straightforward? Okay, so I think it was quite clear, Luminita, and so we're just all looking for the presentation of the tool in one of the next webinars, and that people can start enjoying the access and share it also with your members then as well. If we then go back to the presentation, Sami. Which is, if we look at beyond the tools like the e-tool and the matchmaking platform, more on the learning and the educational aspect. So the accredited courses as well as then the short courses. I don't know if somebody from the Work Package 2 team is there with Graham or Albert. I don't see immediately somebody, so then I'll provide the update. So so then an excellent progress has been made with regards to these different modules. They also have been very successful with regards to people that are interested in order to participate. It's always a challenge because there are always a lot more requests and demands for registration than there are places available. So up to now, both module 1, module 2, and I think also module 3 has been given at least for the first time. And so it has been more than 200 plus registrations, and people actually got accredited diplomas having followed those modules. And then for 2025, it's under discussion. And I see that Claire is there. So I don't know, Claire, if you want to step in to indicate a little bit on how successful they were and from a process side. Happy to if you could step in then.
Good morning. I hope you can hear me. Apologies, I don't have a video here. Yeah, as you've mentioned, it has been very successful so far. We're just finishing up the final week of the first cohort for module 3. And what has also been prepared within TU Dublin is a survey to go out to all participants who have gone through each of the modules so far. And this is something that Kira Walsh, as part of our Enterprise Academy, has worked on about the learning journey and to really understand the implications and the impact of the learning that people have taken on board. So we're looking forward to sending that out in January and to analysing and compiling the results from that. So that'll be very interesting, and it'll show us exactly the impact that learning has had, the changes in people's career perhaps, or the impact it has had directly on applications to notified bodies. So that's one of the big updates that we have. It hasn't gone out yet because it's still going through our ethics procedure here in TU Dublin. But yeah, that's kind of our biggest update right now.
Great. Well, thanks, Claire. And I saw that Friedrich had a question with regards to the duration. So these are 10-week courses with then an examination at the end of it.
Yeah, I can jump in on that again.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, so It's, as you said, it's a 10-week program that's assessed using authentic assessment, so continuous assessment that's very real, based on real world case studies and real world application. So it really gives you a practice run of preparing technical documentation in Module 2 and Module 3. And in Module 1, it's more focused on real understanding of the framework, the EU framework for all medical devices and IVDRs. So it's been very successful. It's taught by SGS, the notified body, and it's accredited. The learning is accredited through TU Dublin's learning framework.
Great. Friedrich, does that answer your question?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Great, excellent. And then indeed, so for 2025, discussions are ongoing, both from the TU Dublin side as well as from MURES, that would pick up also modules from the exact time frames, and then also the registration openings for those as well. Moving then to the second level, which is the short courses, and I don't know if Roel joined.
Yes.
In the meantime, excellent.
Yeah.
So Roel, if you could provide some update on those short courses.
Yes, very happy to. So for some time now, we've been preparing a short course on the evaluation of AI-supported medical devices, and this was pretty much a flowchart of the work that was planned in order to do that, to reach that first training and to make sure that the training material is up to date. I can quickly give you an update on where we are. Can we go to the next slide, please? So last Friday, we actually had a one-day training where we went through the preparation that Vito has made on for the 3-day training module. So we did our test training. We had a lot of feedback. Actually, sometimes we ran a bit over time because we were so the people that provided feedback were so enthusiastic on covering a lot of the details. So that was really good, I think. I think the conclusion was that the content that is foreseen is really what we expect and what we think really fits the needs of the people that are participating. So with that, Vito will continue to develop the training modules. And then between the 10th and the 12th of February next year, we will have our first training. It's a 3-day training, Monday to Wednesday, which will take place in Leuven. And I'm very happy to say that we're already fully booked. So we have 21 confirmed participants. 6 are still pending because we wanted to invite them. They already had pre-registered, and so we're still awaiting their final confirmation that they will take part, because obviously it's a 3-day working shop, so travel requirements, or there may be travel arrangements that they have to make, and they have to free the entire 3-day period in their calendars, because there's especially certainly not for the first cycle, there's no off-site participation, so no webinar style, no hybrid formula. It's going to be on site because the learning is quite steep. It's quite an intensive program, but I think it really covers a lot of the important issues. So we're hoping we have at least 21 participants confirmed now, 6 pending. So we're probably going to end up with a group of around 25 people from 6 different countries: Belgium, Romania, France, Portugal, Germany, and Latvia. So I think, especially for a first training, this is really excellent feedback. And after the training, we are going to assess whether it fits, do a post-training evaluation, check whether it really fitted the need, and then we're going to do at least 2 or 3 more of those 3-day training cycles in the next couple of months before the end of the NoBoCap project. So I think that's a little bit of an update on that short course and where we are at the moment.
Great. Thanks, Roel. Any quick questions that people might have on this? If not, then I would say go ahead, Roel. Yeah, with the next slide, I think.
And then, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, this one. So the next short course that we that has just recently, again last Friday, finished its second cycle, is a short course on providing C-level training within companies on MDR, IVDR. This is a training developed and provided by Qualix, which is a Flemish dedicated consultancy firm with a very strong focus on MDR and IVDR. We had our first training in May, June, in which about 10 people participated. That was in a hybrid format. And what we saw from that evaluation of the training, everybody really was very happy with the way the course met their expectations and the learnings behind the course. Because it was a hybrid format where part of the 2 trainings were in person, 4 trainings, 4 webinar were in webinar style. We had a limited number of participants, but we did our second cycle in November, December. Like I said, the last webinar was done last week, Friday. For that, we also had 25 participants. So again, very happy with that. And we are currently doing the post-evaluation to check whether moving to an entirely webinar-based training provided the same kind of appreciation from the participants. Of course, since that's less than a week ago, we don't have the data in yet, but definitely by the next meeting we can provide you with that. And based on then comparing the feedback from the first training in a hybrid format, the second training fully offsite, we're going to evaluate, and then we're going to start doing a planning for 2025. And what is currently on the table is again to have at least 2 training cycles. One will probably be again May, June 2024 and November, December 2020. May, June 2025 and November, December 2025. But we are in discussion with Qualix to also check whether that's aligned with their agenda, because obviously it's a 6-week training program. So we also need to make sure that it fits their agendas. But those dates will be confirmed probably early 2025 in January, and then we will open the registrations again. So that's a little bit on that short course. Yves?
Great. Well, thanks, Roel. Any questions that people are having? If not, then we'll move to the next. And as we indicated, and I see Miguel has a question there. So go ahead, Miguel.
Only question on this kind of courses. Are you looking for partners for new courses? If you are, happy to contribute to this kind of work. For instance, we are just preparing a course on cybersecurity, and we are quite aware that this is like a challenge for even notified bodies to assess cybersecurity. So not only for manufacturers. So happy to contribute with this kind of content if you looking for partnerships.
Yes, thank you for the offer. I think we are discussing within NoBoCap if or whether we want to organize additional short courses with other topics. It's still under discussion, but very much appreciated the offer to provide help in organizing these. I think we will do that early 2025, have that discussion, and if cybersecurity, for example, turns out to be a topic, then we will definitely get back.
I raised it as an example. So we have plenty of things, usability, the AI topic, but just saying that come with us if you need content.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, excellent. And also, Miguel, anyhow, the the NoBoCap community is also aimed to foster. I mean, if you have it yourself, something developed, just to leverage the platform to build the awareness of those courses as well. So this is something that for which the community is there as well, so that there is a broad awareness of excellent offerings that exist, be it from NoBoCap or be it from the partners. Okay, great. So then moving to the next is indeed on community activities. So if we go on the next slide, I think we can say we had a quite successful first summit for those that were able to join the summit, and what we seek to do is to make it the summit. We call it reviving the summit again. So for those that were there, they can again appreciate and be part of the community that we had that present there, but also others, partners and especially the members that would like to listen into one of the presentations that were given. So we will be towards the beginning of 2025 make those recordings available. Especially for the members, for the innovation hubs, to be let's say appreciative of what the content has been, and have then also the access to those presentations. So that is work which will be done in the beginning of the year, and then we have our second summit date, which shifted slightly from 14-15 to 15-16 of October. This also to accommodate the medical device coordination group meeting, which is taking place on just before. And I think in that way we can again connect up with the medical device coordination group for the new technologies. If there is now also a new task force going to be set up on innovation pathways. So in that way, I think we make the connection towards the member states level initiatives to the people that are involved in shaping the future for the innovation and the updates of the regulation. So this from the community side. What I wanted to highlight also is what Katarina already mentioned with regards to the new E4Health project on the horizon scanning project on medical devices, which is targeted really to identify novel technological developments for which actually the regulatory framework might not be sufficiently fit for purpose. If there might be limitations within the current regulatory framework, where there might be a need for further specifications, common specifications, guidances. And so it's something that we're looking into with a couple of NoBoCap partners to also go for a proposal in extension of the work that we're doing on the identification of emerging technologies. And then also to seek to move in a type of a bottom-up approach of signaling where there is technologies that for which the regulatory framework is not sufficiently built out. So they're really not only going from a scanning top-down perspective, but really also working on bottom-up, and we'll be reaching out and towards, of course, the innovation hubs clusters within their memberships to provide inputs, but also certainly from the partners, no partner side with the regulatory expertise, where you have a very good knowledge base also to indicate where there are some of the shortcomings and so that we can actually provide this as an input as well. So that's something work in progress. We will see how far we will be able to make a proposal forward, but we will then also beginning of the year reach out for let's say a type of letter of support if we would go that direction, that you might be engaged there as well. And then as a last point with regards to the getting ready for 2025, as indicated, what we wanted to do is to ensure that we already have the latest information. I think the presentation on Katarina was great to see what are the developments that are ongoing. So we're all in the, let's say, starting blocks with providing feedback. But then also from our end, we want to get already into a monthly mode of these community webinars, with a first touch point, which is planned for the 23rd of January. So if you can already take note of that one, put it in the agenda. So there we will actually get started and go then on a monthly basis with regards to bringing the community together, having the updates both on developments from the voice side, from the tools side. Also give the opportunity to the partners to specifically present what initiatives that are ongoing from their end. Have also presentation from the Innovation Hub's members to see specific actions which are being taken, so that we have a good exchange, and in that way can do a good cross-learning of initiatives. And so if we then go back to the full screen, I think I mean that is what the update that we wanted to give. I don't know if there are any final questions that people are having, any suggestions that people are having, I think if not, I think it's then the right time to wish everybody a great couple of weeks, a nice Christmas, and an enjoyable New Year. We're aware that within our community we have people that are going to nice places as well, having long travels. I'm thinking about Stami, who was just jumped on a plane to Australia. So I mean, we can all be jealous, but we're all awaiting, of course, the pictures coming back from your from wherever you enjoy.
I promise.
the
next
weeks.
webinar. I'll share photos for the next webinar.
That's a promise. Great. From my end, thank you very much for the great year, for all the contributions, for helping to build out this community, and then looking forward to an exciting 2025. So thanks everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Happy holidays. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Sammy, have a good trip.
See ya.